Invite. How y'all doing today? I'm your boy JB. I'm your host tonight. What we got today? We got Tom Brady. He got a new toy. We got people retiring, and once again, we got a division. We talking about the AFC East. This is the All Sports Matter podcast. Let's get the show going.
Shine through.
Welcome to the show tonight. This is a special night, so I thank y'all for showing up. Tonight on the All Sports Matter podcast, we go talk about a little bit of baseball. We go talk about things that's happening in football and basketball. But first, let me bring in my guys that's go have my back, Mr. Two Belts, Poppy Ortiz, and OJ did it. OJ did it. Come on, Big Rob.
What it do?
Let's bring everybody in. Also, before we get started, real big shout out to the big guy in the OJ jersey. Happy born day, Big Sir. We know it was yesterday, but happy born day to you.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you kindly, gentlemen. Thank you kindly. Y'all showed nothing but love yesterday. I'm appreciative.
All the love in the world. Look at that picture behind him. But so let's jump right into it. The number one story that's popping off at this current time. Somebody found a new home. We're talking about Julio Jones out there in Tampa Bay. How y'all think that's gonna work out?
I think it's gonna work out good for him.
Yeah,
it's gonna work out good for Tampa too. I mean, you don't have to. He's not gonna be expected to be a number one and number two. You know, he can come in and do his thing, give them his 9-10 games a year, hopefully during the playoffs, and it gives Brady another weapon, man. I mean, how many more weapons does that guy need down there, Tim?
At this point, he's cheating. He needs to stop cheating.
So you lose Gronk, and you get another physical wide receiver when he's healthy. You get another big physical wide receiver that can catch and run the route tree. Like Flex said, the rich get richer, man. This made me sick to my stomach because I was like, good God, man, when is this going to stop? This dude, man, he's politicking.
Yeah, they extra cheating down there. But, the defense, they didn't really change much on defense. Last year, one might be able to argue that since they didn't win the championship, they didn't really have a Super Bowl defense last year, but they still had quite a formidable defense. So, it's gonna be kind of hard to look past them in the NFC South, but I mean it's the NFC South, so I mean what are we really saying here? It's like saying you the tallest little person, because I know you can't say the M word, so it's like saying you're the tallest little person. So,
but who did they lose though? Who did that defense lose besides Ndamukong and Suh? And they replaced him,
right? And that's what I'm saying. So the defense is pretty much still in the same shape. So, but from when they won the Super Bowl to last year, something had to have changed, or somebody got hurt. I don't know, but maybe they lost Richard Sherman. No, he didn't count. So yeah, he didn't count. He was old, but he gonna be in Amazon this year. Amir, how you feel? What you think happened?
I think it was a great pickup. Obviously, I kind of, from a fantasy perspective, don't want to say I'm kind of a big deal, but I am a legend. But I think I kind of feel bad for Russell Gage. Everybody projected Russell Gage having a great year, fantasy. They didn't let go of Godwin. They didn't let go of Mike Evans. Those guys are still going to produce whenever Godwin gets back from his injury. But Russell
he
Gage
got
was the
cleared
one
today.
everybody
He got
thought was
cleared.
going to be that guy that will step up, obviously. But now picking up Julio, and like Big Rob said, Julio's going to be that consistent physical guy that Brady just loves to just throw the ball in his stomach and catch and go. Speed is not there, but he is the guy within the trenches is going to catch that slant that Brady is so used to after all these years. And the Bucs definitely put themselves right back in the talks of being one of the top teams of the NFL.
I know you mentioned Godwin. He was actually cleared today for camp, so he's good to go.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, that entire offense is about to be an entire issue. I kind of feel sorry for the Saints fans. I know they go, they still go be Saints fans and they still go, talk a whole lot of craziness, but I kind of feel sorry for y'all because y'all defense not about to be up to snuff. Not for that. Don't fool yourself. We had somebody retire today too, Mr. Chris Carson. Is that his name? Chris Carson, the running back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He went ahead and called it a career. What do y'all think about his career? Did he make enough of an impact?
What career?
Exactly. What career?
Nah.
I mean, he played 3 seasons, 4 seasons,
And
he wasn't in the league.
The majority
He's
of
one of those
those
guys
hurt.
to see when healthy. Obviously, could have did something, but he's never was healthy his whole career.
So obviously, it was something that happened that he taking his health into consideration. Which I'm happy to see him do that.
He had the neck injury.
Yeah. So I'm happy to see.
I guess that neck. You know how that is. I guess that neck just never got back right.
And as a running back, you got to keep your head on a swivel because they're looking to take it off. Although they are changing all these rules and everything to where you can't hit nobody anywhere. It's gonna be touch football in 2 years. So
and the Seahawks did him a solid too because he was gonna just straight up retire. They actually released him so he can collect the benefits,
which is dope.
Which is what, unemployment?
I don't.
I don't know what those are.
But benefits. That's all I know. I don't know exactly
from the NFL
what exactly it is that he's collecting, but he was gonna retire, and then Seattle released him so he could get those benefits.
Yeah, it's the NFLPA benefits. So let's switch up a little bit. I know it's not Thursday, but Amir, what we have shaking this week in baseball? What we got to look forward to?
This is one of the biggest weekends of the season. This is the Major League Baseball trade deadline. It's happening on Tuesday, August 2nd. So people will start moving probably as of tonight. You'll start seeing them throughout the weekend, usually the week of or the weekend. The big day will obviously be Tuesday. For some reason, they always wait the day off. I never really understood. That's all sports, though, for some reason. They know the trade deadline ends that day, and all sports wants to wait to that day for it to be official.
They got to make sure to get the best.
I guess they're weighing their options. Give me your last best offer.
Make sure you get the best deal. Just
give me your last best offer type deal.
I don't know, but you got guys like Wilson Contreras who said goodbye to his teammates today. So obviously he'll probably be gone tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, he on the move.
The big guy is Juan Soto, who came out of nowhere as far as being available. You'll never see a mega superstar at the age of 23 being available to the public. So we're going to see quite possibly the biggest trade as far as what the opposing teams are to give up for a player come this week. We're talking about 4 prospects, 5 picks, future prospects, starters, etc. It's going to be the biggest haul one team ever gets for one player, and that's going to possibly happen this weekend. But it should happen sooner than later because Juan Soto already said he's not playing with the Washington Nationals.
And that's what I was about to ask you. Do you think it's going to happen before the deadline?
It doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen for the deadline. Reason being, he's not a free agent.
Right.
So he still has this season and next season to play. So they'll move him by trade deadline of next season. He'll be gone. But the further they wait, the more they risk. This is going to be the highest they'll get for him right now. Obviously, the teams that are in play are the Cardinals and Padres, are the top two teams that I'm hearing through all the experts, all the media. Obviously, you're going to hear the big teams like the Dodgers, Yankees, only because they have money, but they don't have the need for them. The team need and the team that give up the most prospects and starting players right now is the Padres and Cardinals. So expect that move to be made I expected the Padres, to be honest with you.
The Padres?
I saw a report, and I don't think it's going to happen because I just don't see them doing it. The Mets. It said the Mets have a chance. But I don't see the Nationals trading Soto within the division.
No.
Yeah, I don't see that.
We always say that, but in baseball, money talks. Because in football, you can't go over. Basketball, you can't go over them. And baseball specifically, you can go over. It's all about what you want to pay as an owner or as a franchise, as they say. So for Juan Soto, I don't see the Mets. I don't, because they don't have the money for them. After spending for Scherzer, Lindor, Marte, they don't have the money to pay him the 10 years that Soto is looking for. But they can easily give him a Carlos Correa contract and say, we'll give you 3 years for 35, 40 mil and give you the player option every season. They could do that. But again, we're talking about a 23-year-old superstar. So this is unheard of. Well, not unheard of. It's unprecedented, as we say, in sports, that you don't see. It's like saying LeBron coming with the Cavaliers and all of a sudden the Cavaliers not going to sign him. And he still has 2 years left in the contract. This is what you're seeing right now. So it's unprecedented. We don't know. So a lot of teams are like, who do we give up? And that's why rumors, and I'm kind of babbling, but the rumors, well, Ohtani was available. He's not available. Yeah. But a lot of teams started calling Ohtani because they're saying if Soto's available, then why not Ohtani?
I mean,
that's how big the player is.
I mean, that's just smart to do. I'm gonna call about him anyway. I don't care what you're saying. I'm still gonna call. I'm gonna put a call in.
Whether he's available or not, I'm about to find out.
Rob, what you think? Where you think he's going?
I gotta agree with Mayor. It's gonna be hard to see somebody not give an incredible amount for this guy. So, like you said the Padres, right? That's who I was thinking of. I was thinking the Padres, honestly. And I don't see the Mets. I don't know anybody else who can give what the Padres will be able to give.
Don't be surprised the Cardinals come in a super also.
That's going
to be interesting.
That's the betting favorite right now is the Cardinals. Now, I would love to see my Dodgers pick him up, but like you said, you don't really need him. You have Mookie out there, although keeping him healthy has been kind of an issue the last couple of years. But they don't really have the immediate need for him right now. But I would love for the Dodgers to pick him up. I would absolutely love that, and they have the money to spend. It's just all about the prospects that they have to give up, and they will do it just like they did with Mookie and move things around. So they can do it. I would love to see him do it, but right now the betting favorite is St. Louis will pull the trigger on it. So what you think?
I'd love to see him in the Braves, but it ain't gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. The Braves don't have the Braves farm system isn't strong enough to field a competitive offer for them.
No,
not the one that you would have to within the division anyway. You said the betting favorite is the Cardinals. I would think right now the betting favorite is the Padres because they're motivated and they have the farm system to be able to go out and get him.
Well, you're right. I don't mean to cut you off. The Padres, the reason I like them and a lot of teams like them, because they have major league worthy players and going right now. You can give up Cronenworth, you can give up Adams, who filled in nicely for Tatis. With Tatis coming back, you don't need him anymore. Sucks to say, but on paper you don't. And they have a good farm system, and they still got the money to play around with. So you're looking at giving up Cronenworth, Adams, and a bunch of farm players. The Padres have everything that the Boston Nationals are asking for.
Yeah, and you got a motivated GM in San Diego too that doesn't mind wheeling and dealing. That's what I'm looking at. Like he don't mind going out and he threw $300 million at Machado, $300 million at Tatis. He don't mind spending the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. He's writing blank checks right now. So he got money. He got the monopoly money.
I got breaking news real quick, and I know I wasn't going to talk as much. but I know we got our Boston friend coming on. I'm not going to put him on, but Aaron Judge has hit his 38th home run, little like just now. So I just want to throw that out there. Breaking news. You put it down in the banner.
All right, we go jab him in the side. That's all right. He gonna take that.
Sorry, Yankees went back to back just now. Rizzo just hit another home run. So back to back. Yeah. So carry on, and we'll talk. We'll talk to the
we'll talk in a little bit.
Guy here shortly.
We will, but we know this is this podcast, this show is about all sports, so we can switch gears just a little bit. Let's talk about what's going on with WWE. Vince McMahon left. Stephanie's the co-CEO with Tony Khan, and now we got Triple H to come back, and he's running things. How do y'all feel?
Hallelujah! Come on back home.
Can we get 2.0 going and get the black and gold back?
WWE great again.
Please, Lord. Oh my God!
I mean, I look as wrestling fans, which all four of us are, like we have a group message, and like that's all we talked about before it happened. Man, Vince needs to retire. Vince needs to leave. Vince needs to go. Vince needs to do this. Man, it finally happened, boy. Hey, I swear, it ain't my birthday. Rob, that was your birthday present.
That was
my birthday, but I felt like it was.
Oh my God, that was an amazing gift too. I was so happy, man. Oh my God, because he's well overdue. He should have been gone a long time ago. And I loved how they played it last night with Theory. I loved how they
Roman Reigns tripped me out. That was so hilarious.
That was amazing.
That was so hilarious. Your dad is gone.
Oh my God, that was the coup de resistance. That was perfect, man. I love it.
Daddy is not here.
Oh my God.
Jerry Jones used a derogatory slur for little people. See that? See that's why I didn't say it just a little while ago. You can't say the M word. You got to say littles. You can't say shrinkies. I heard that's bad. People don't like that. So you got to say the little.
No, that's a thing. Shrinkies.
It was a thing. It was a thing apparently. So you can't say it. You got to educate yourself on these types of things. But I'm sorry, I had digressed because I was looking at some news and I saw that. Do you see anybody coming back like a Sasha Banks, a Naomi, a Bray Wyatt?
Hopefully, everybody you just named. Hopefully,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Anyway. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like who? We're obviously not behind the scenes to know exactly what's going on. So we know what I'm saying? Like we know what's being reported. Sasha and Naomi had issues with Vince. How he treated the women's tag division or the women's division as a whole, how he, played them as second fiddle. So if that was their issue, then hopefully with him being gone, we'll get them back. Bray, that's a whole different, ball game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we see Bray back. I would love for him to come back, but I mean,
I read something. I want to say that was Sunday that was talking about that Bray is supposed to be on his way back, and that some of the issues he was having with WWE he had worked through. But until I see it on paper, that's just all just speculation.
Right, and I like you said, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I do know that they're actively hiring for writers and stuff like that. I put in an application because I feel like I can do something. I feel like
I think you can. Well, Vince is gone now, so I don't feel the need to rush my application in now. I think it's gonna be in good hands with Triple H.
So if I tell y'all I'm on my way to Stanford, y'all just be cool. Don't worry about it.
I'm getting a plane ticket and I'm headed up there.
Don't worry about it. It's gonna be on and popping. But but we
nah, you the chef now.
Yeah, chef. He's the chef. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But we like to talk big things here, and we like to do things and stuff like that.
I like that.
Let's go ahead and jump into our talks with the AFC East. Tonight we got joining us. We got David, Mr. Leroy Harding. He's coming up in here. He's apparently
He's representing the Patriots. Come
He's
on.
a Patriots fan. He's up there.
Give him his flowers. Give him
With
his
John Cena. That's why he's on the screen now. Apparently, y'all can't see him because he like John Cena. Give it up for for David Harding and our Jets fan for the evening is the one and only Mr. Tim Miller. He coming on here. He gonna talk about the JETS.
How much
Jets,
how much did
Jets,
you have to pay Tim to admit that he's a Jets fan?
That's a big check.
I gave him $60 in food stamps. Don't nobody say nothing.
Man.
Don't nobody say nothing. $60 in food stamps. The first question I have though, I guess it's for Tim. When y'all go stop saying the New York Jets and just call it what it is and say y'all from New Jersey because that's where y'all at.
True. There is only one true New York football team. Another team we're going to be talking about tonight, the Buffalo Bills, I guess. But yeah, I mean, you're right. The Giants and the Jets play in that big giant air condition of a stadium, and it's in New Jersey.
Yeah, terrible turf that kills everybody's people. Just runs up and grabs everybody. That's the most ridiculous turf ever. And what it is, MetLife Stadium. That's what y'all call it.
Yep.
Y'all terrible. Y'all terrible. Just buy something in New York and call it a day.
Amir, Judge and Rizzo went back to back. I got you. Judge and Rizzo went back to back.
Ooh, Judge and Rizzo back to back. Now, this is the Boston fan that Amir was talking about. As you, he asked who Judge is playing for next season. What that is?
Six rings. Oh,
who, Jordan?
Yeah, he talking about Jordan.
You need to calm down, Ariana Grande.
You got as many rings as J-Lo. I'm gonna need you to just be cool.
I just want the money that J-Lo has too.
Also, real quick, and I feel like I'm the only person who was wondering this, but how is it y'all got the Miami Dolphins in the NFC East when they way down south? That's ridiculous. Or the AFC East? Why
Great question.
Why y'all got them?
We felt bad for them, being down there in that state that nobody really cares about with all the storms that hit them all the time and wipe them out. We wanted to bring them up into that AFC East area and give them something they can do is like beat the Jets.
It's real ridiculous. It's real ridiculous.
Hold up.
It's about the travel.
Is a realignment question? You literally almost stayed by the Cowboys. How are they part of East?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how the Cowboys are part of East either. I have a real easy solution for the AFC though. You can put the Ravens.
They don't want that.
In the
They don't
AFC
want the problems.
You can put the Titans in the AFC North, and you can put the Dolphins in the AFC South.
Why would you put Why would the Titans go to the Why would the Titans go to the AFC North?
I don't know. They closer to the north than Miami is.
No,
I agree with that.
Indianapolis. Yeah, that's the one.
But Miami's not in the north.
It's closer than
why they're in the east? They're in the south.
But
they're the furthest south than anybody.
We know about y'all don't want them Baltimore problems.
That's my sister.
Y'all don't want them Baltimore problems.
She said Devontae Smith gonna take the Eagles to the Super Bowl this year.
Where you was last week, Miss Smith? Devontae Smith ain't doing nothing.
That's my sister.
Sit down. He go sit down. That's what he gonna do.
Look, don't disrespect the Heisman winner. Let's not do that.
I bet you he still gonna sit down.
I'm just saying.
I guess Devontae Smith got
he's an Alabama fan too.
Who his quarterback is?
She loves him.
Don't talk dirty about Jalen. Don't talk about Jalen.
I do got a legit question though for the New England Patriot fan.
Oh, all right.
That's gonna be good.
You know my name.
No, it's a legit question. As a fan, how do you embrace for a possibly lackluster future, knowing the titles was a combination of Brady and Belichick? You don't have that anymore going forward. How do you expect for the rest of your life, quite possibly? I can't see the future now. And this is a legit question, but we're not going to see a Brady-Belichick combination in the near future. How do you prepare yourself as a fan as far as expectations? Because And I'm gonna let you finish the rest, but how can you?
That's a fair question, and the first response to that is I can always go to you and ask you what's that like being a Giants fan and knowing they have no future. But I will say that
twice. Next
what?
question.
When did you beat us?
For 2 Super Bowls.
You're right. They won 2 Super Bowls against us, which we wanted to give you.
Stay focused on the first question, sir. I know you're from Boston. You can't read, so I'll put up. I didn't want to put up subtitles or whatever. Focus on the first question.
I am. I'm focused on the fact that I just come to you and get those tips being a Giants fan, and they have no future. Now, I will tell you on the real side, we may not have the Brady Belichick future that we've had for the last 2 decades. But we do have some promise in a second-year quarterback that made the Pro Bowl. I get it. I mean, you're going to say it's by default. But he did make the Pro Bowl, and everything at the camp is how much he's made strides even going into the second year. Got in better shape. He's got some more mindsets that he's already knows the system, especially coming from that college system into the Patriot system. So there is some promise. Are we going to overtake the Bills in the next couple of years? Probably not. But I still think we have a lot of promise going forward, seeing how we're going to switch things up. New coaching personnel. We don't have the offensive coordinator with Josh McDaniels that now went to the Raiders. But there is plenty of hope still in New England.
Mr. Harding. Mr. Harding, who's your quarterback and what college did he go to?
Oh, Mr. Mac Jones. Did he go to I don't want to say that name.
Y'all forgive him. It's his birthday. It's his birthday. Y'all forgive him.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you.
If I can tie in what we talked about previous with Vince McMahon and WWE, right? He brought us the Attitude Era, great era in wrestling. Belichick brought us Brady. Now both of those eras are over. How do we move forward, with the eras that we are now living in?
And we're in PG-13.
I just said the Mac Jones era.
I don't like that era.
You really believe that Mac Jones with no weapons, not even a Welker or an Edelman, none.
Who's the
You
running
traded
back
the
up
first round. You traded the first round pick a couple weeks ago to the Bears for nothing. Nikhil Harry, by the way. I'm not on
Damian Harris. Damian Harris, Alabama.
No, to be fair, Nikhil Harry is 2 Twinkies away from being an offensive lineman. So
he got traded though.
So I think that was addition by subtraction right there. We may have given up, somebody that we picked as a first round pick to go to somewhere else. But again, addition by subtraction, by getting away that distraction that wasn't going to do anything for us, move him on to something else. Wish him, best wishes in what you're ever going to do. And who's the quarterback over there?
Somebody just chimed in with a great question. That's a great question.
Who's calling the plays
in New England?
Good question, Michael. That's a good question.
That's a great question.
You guys got no OC or DC, no defensive coordinator, no offensive coordinator. Belichick is trying to do everything on his own.
Well, no, Belichick, he said it was going to be by committee.
Right. And if you actually look at the last few years, that's exactly what it's been on the defensive side of the ball anyway. Defensive coordinator, there hasn't really been a defensive coordinator label on the team for a while now. He's kind of been, hey, we're just not going to have that label on somebody. We're going to work by committee. We're going to go into the room together, come up with a plan, and everybody's going to do their job.
But that was cool when you was putting up 6 to 8 points a game. But now that you're putting up 16 points a game, you're going to need somebody to call some defensive plays. You can't just go out there and be like, oh, everybody do your job. No, you need to call some plays and stop them from scoring because
I think they'll be all right, though.
I see what you're saying, especially when you got a firepower offense of the Bills in the division that's going to come at you and come at your throat. And then you got, and I'm going to talk about the other teams. Well, most of the other teams. I don't know what I can really say about the Jets, but I'm going to talk about Miami that's going to go kill some of our slow defense that we've known to have, especially on our linebacker crew. But hopefully we'll have a game plan because, I'm pretty sure the first Super Bowl we ever won was against the greatest show on turf, and Bill Belichick found ways to game plan against their top player, against their running back. Was it Falk? Was it Falk back then? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, it was Falk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got
I mean, I don't
Kevin
know.
Falk on the other side.
I think a lot of that is they just wasn't ready. They didn't know what they was getting with Tom Brady. They was used to seeing Drew Bledsoe, and then Tom Brady come up in there, and they like, who is this little fatso? This
Well,
little
I mean,
slinky?
let's be fair. They had a whole year. I mean, didn't Tom Brady come in? Like, what game was that he came in for?
Game 3,
It was
I'd
like
like to apologize. I'd like to apologize for the Mo Lewis
for
hit.
introducing the NFL to Tom Brady.
Yes, I'd like to apologize for that.
I mean, I do appreciate the Jets. Didn't y'all give us Bill Belichick too?
No, he just ran.
Yeah, I believe it was resignation on a cocktail napkin, if I remember correctly.
I mean,
So he knew when to run in that case too.
I mean, if you coach the Jets, wouldn't you just? It's sort of like the Colts just leaving in the middle of the night. Oh wait, that was Baltimore. My bad.
Really? You are a real piece of work, sir. Good God.
My bad.
Wow,
That
smack
was
me in the mouth.
in the middle of the night.
It was the Colts leaving to Baltimore, though, wasn't it?
No, they left from Baltimore and went to Indy.
Yeah, they went to Indianapolis in the middle of the night.
And then the Browns went to Baltimore.
It
became the Ravens, and then they got another team. Why we put another team in Cleveland?
My brother DD said Patriot fans are tied with the Cowboys for the worst and delirious fans.
Oh wow! I saw that comment, but the difference is I'm realistic. I know we're not going to do anything for the next couple of years, but the question is how do I prepare for that? And I do have hope in the fact that the development of Mac Jones coming from what college again? I'm sorry. What college was that boy?
University of Alabama.
Alabama, right? And our running back. Hold on, we got a running back that's pretty good from Alabama.
Yeah, he's a little good. He's a little bit good. Yeah.
And I think
we got a quarterback's came good.
Tackle that came from Alabama too.
Yeah.
You got all that Alabama talent and still 0 victories.
To be fair, hey, look. To be fair though, Harding did say before we went live that he was, thought the Bills were going to run things for a while. So just to be fair, he's not being delirious.
Yeah. And I mean, that's honesty. The Bills are a problem.
The Bills are a tough team. The Bills got a great defense. They got the firepower on offense with Diggs and Allen out there. Allen has got a lot of talent. He's definitely top 3 quarterback in my opinion in the NFL. In my opinion, I think his arm strength, his ability is top 3. Now, there's a lot of great young quarterbacks coming up in the league right now, but as far as what he's shown so far in his short career, I'm going to put him up there in the top 3 right now.
Okay,
top 3. Top 3?
Yeah.
I hear you.
Is there a
who's 1 and 2?
Top 5? Yeah.
Who's one top 5 for quarterbacks in the NFL right now?
I need to hear.
So number 1, as much as I don't want to say this, he's still he's the MVP. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is number 1 right now. I'm not going with what people might think with the jersey behind me. He's not top 5 anymore. He's a great quarterback, the greatest quarterback of all time, whatever you want to say. But it's going to be number 2 is going to be Patrick Mahomes for me. Number 3 will be Allen. Number 4 for me is kid from Chargers. I can't think of his name right now.
Justin Herbert. Okay.
Herbert. And then number 5, that one's escaping me right now. Probably a boy from Cincinnati with chasing the weapons over there.
Joe Breeze.
Where he came from?
Joe Burrow.
Who's not escaping anything right now? Mac Jones when he gets
from
sacked.
Ohio State.
He came from what? You said Ohio State? Oh, all right. I see Florida fans be hating because they ain't won nothing. That's what it is.
I mean, and this is just my opinions based off watching the games, watching them play, and the talent they have. I'm going to say there's a couple quarterbacks like Brady's going to do his thing, but I don't think he's top 5 right now. He's just got so many weapons as well, and he just knows how to manage a game. So he's going to have numbers up there. And I think the addition of Devontae Adams is going to do something for Carr with the offensive weapons they have over there. So if we're talking about talent versus what they're going to be able to do with the talent they have on their team, it would change up a little bit. But that would be my top 5.
I'm gonna just say this because I know
mean,
we got a
Russell gotta
Raiders
be in there
fan.
somewhere, though.
Because I know we got a Raiders fan sitting in the comments. Don't nobody care about Derek Carr, and he can go sit down somewhere.
I do have a legit question based on the subject that we have. Can you rank the quarterbacks just in your division?
Just in my division?
Just in your division.
I think that's easy.
Oh, I mean, Allen's obviously number 1. Are we talking about talent or who's going to have the best career?
Your opinion. Talk about your opinion.
In my opinion, career-wise, Allen's going to have the best career.
Right.
Mac Jones is going to come second, in my opinion. Lawrence would be third, and I really don't even know who is it Wilson for the Jets? I don't really see much from that.
You mean Tua?
Who's
above him?
Oh,
you were talking about Tua?
I'm so confused.
I was going to say Lawrence plays with the Jags, right?
It's a green team. It's a green team in Florida. So
he said one of them. He said one of them.
He's like,
I would like to apologize to our
boys.
guests. They do not have cable where he's from.
They do not.
It's
Massachusetts.
I agree with him, though.
Everything is John Cena up there.
That's how I would rank him, too. I think
that's
my bad.
Allen, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, Tua.
Well, the reason I asked is I wanted to see, and it's going to be the same thing for you, Jets fan there. What do y'all think of Tua and the Miami Dolphins' new offense? And I know we're going to kind of share the love or the hate for Miami Dolphins, but where do you guys see Tua? And I'm asking the two fans for the AFC East.
Yeah, Mr. Tim Miller, you haven't said anything.
You go ahead, Jeff. You got the floor.
I think this year it's gonna be either his year to show up or not at this point, especially with Tyreek showing up over there. Tyreek's got nothing but incredible things to say about his most accurate quarterback in the league. So I guess we'll see how that goes. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. He played well last year. Okay, I'd say he played okay. I don't want him to play well, obviously. Just like I don't want any of the other ones to play well. But the rankings of the AFC quarterbacks are probably it's accurate based on last year. It's accurate. I'd go with probably the same thing. 2 at 3 and Wilson at 4.
Oh, just wow. No love for the Cougar lover.
Wow.
The Cougar
lover. He put his
he coming for everybody.
I mean, that's basically what's gonna happen with the Jets season this year is he gonna show up and be a better player? Him and I think Mekhi Becton on our offensive line, if they don't have good years, we will suck again.
Is Mekhi healthy?
What's that?
Is he healthy now?
Mekhi?
Yeah.
Yes. He's recovered from his knee injury. He's in camp. They put him on a PUP list, but apparently he lost some weight. He's ready to go. So hopefully after he takes his physical this week, he'll come off of it. But he's probably going to be switched over to right tackle instead of left tackle because George Fant did an incredible job last year at left tackle. So it's his job to lose at this point. But yeah, I mean, Wilson has to take the next step.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He showed flashes last year of talent. His arm strength is incredible, but he's got to show the accuracy in the short game and the mid game to have anything. I mean, that's all the Jets need him to do is basically be a game manager at this point. And with flashes of down the field, that's all we're asking for him to be is what's his name in Minnesota. That's all we're asking to be at this point. And then he can take it from there. If we can get him to that point, then it's his second year of the offense. We're lucky that we have the same offense this year again. So he's learning the same offense that he had last year. So that shouldn't be an issue. And he looks like a grown man this year instead of a little bitty baby boy. He's bulked up in the offseason. So
that's why he started dating the Cougar, so he can feel a little
you got to look good. You got to look good.
All right, while we're talking about those Jets, though, one one position group that really sticks out to me that I'm really excited about for the Jets is the running back room. Breece Hall, Michael Carter. I think either one can be a workhorse quarterback. Running back in the NFL. Who do you think ultimately steps up and becomes the alpha in that backfield?
I think no doubt that it's going to be Breece Hall. I love Michael Carter. I do. He's one of my favorite Jets. But I think he's better in that role, that same role he had in North Carolina, where he had a partner in there, and he was the 1B basically in the offense. I think Breece Hall is going to step up, and he's going to surprise people how good he is. He was picked in the second round, but he was the top running back in the draft this year. Running backs don't go high in the draft anymore. But I think it's definitely going to be Breece Hall, and I think it's going to be early. I think he's going to come out of preseason, and he's going to be the starter. And I think Carter is going to be a lot of coming out of the backfield, catching passes. But Breece Hall he's got the speed. He's got that playmaking ability, and I think he's going to take over real quick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. From a fantasy perspective, I was kind of ticked off that Breece Hall got drafted to the Jets because I had Michael Carter on my fantasy team, and I was planning on keeping him until they drafted Breece Hall.
I was very excited about Michael Carter. I was.
This guy was a fantasy football legend.
Yeah, he showed some flashes last year, and he does not go down when he first gets hit. He always pushes through that first hit. But no, he's a very exciting player. But yeah, the Jets actually traded up to get Breece Hall in the second round. So
I do have a question for you though. Keeping up with the offense, you guys got, and correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously I don't ever think I'm wrong, but I'm always usually right. Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, and you just signed C.J. Uzomah.
And they got Garrett Wilson too.
To me, say it again.
They got Garrett Wilson too. They drafted
Garrett Wilson, Ohio State, right? Correct.
Yes.
To me, that's 5 weapons. They may not be the number ones, but they are great number twos. You got 5 number 2 options. And you said it right. I guess I should have stopped myself when you said it also depends on your offensive line. But are you just not that?
Who's calling the team?
Who's about the Patriots, who I believe is going to take a tumble. And it's not. This is not a Boston hit. It is not. I think they overachieved last year. That's just my opinion. I think it was more coaching. Mac Jones actually pleasantly surprised everybody, and I'll give him that. But the Jets
Crowder went to the Bills.
The Jets show, and I don't think anybody beats the Bills. I don't. But we're talking 7 teams make the playoffs. If the Pats made it last season at 10-7, I believe. Stop me if I'm wrong. Anybody?
You're right.
Why can't the Jets make it at 10-7 with the same division, almost the same schedule? Why can't they overtake? And obviously, I'm talking a lot. We don't know what we're going to get from Miami. We don't. But I think I'm more up on your team. I'm more hyped to see what this young core is going to do than you are. I want you as a fan to tell me what am I missing here, because I think you guys got a good squad.
And before you answer that, the question that I have to go along with Amir's question: who's calling the offense in New York, New Jersey? Because we know who's calling the defense. We know Robert Saleh is calling the defense. Who's the offensive coordinator out there that's supposed to be putting this together?
You know who it is. It's Mike LaFleur from your San Francisco 49ers.
That guy.
So Mike LaFleur is calling the offense, and Saleh is actually not calling the defense. So he brought a defensive coordinator over, and I'm sure he's taking control of it. But he is the defensive coordinator. They're saying he's calling the plays. But Mike LaFleur is calling the offense, and I'm very excited about Mike LaFleur. He brought a lot to the table. I'm excited about the whole coaching staff, to be honest. Last year was their rookie season, basically, as a coaching staff. So it was the first time Saleh was a head coach. So that takes some time to get used to. So I'm very excited about the future of this coaching staff. It's more excited than I've been about a coaching staff in a very long time because, as you know, I did go through the Adam Gase era.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Total apologies.
So yeah, Michael Floor is calling the plays, and I am extremely excited. They have tons of young players who have the potential of being great players. They do. They have to show that though. I mean, we saw last year Elijah Moore came out and he played really well. So everyone's excited about Elijah Moore. We're hoping that Garrett Wilson, this year's draft pick, catches on quickly. But it's a rookie wide receiver, so it'll take a little bit of time. But hopefully, he becomes that number one receiver for this team, or Elijah Moore is going to take it from him because he's a little small, but he's going to take it from him if he doesn't step up. He's like Corey Davis is out there. We actually got technically three new tight ends, which is the first time we got tight ends. We got CJ, who's whatever it is from the Cincinnati Bengals, but I think Conklin's going to be the one that steps up and be the number one tight end, to be honest, from the Vikings last year. So there is a lot of young talent on this team, and the future the future is bright for them. I think. I'm a Jets fan.
You being
I don't like to get ahead of myself.
No, of course not. With you being a New York, New Jersey fan, I think I'm gonna blend this question in because we all know if you live on the East Coast, especially New York, New Jersey area, every newspaper, either whether the New York Post, New York Times, or the Star Ledger down in New Jersey, is always going to be a comparison between Giants and Jets. Would you rather have Zach Wilson or Daniel Manning?
I'll answer that one for him. Zach Wilson.
I'd rather have Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
I think we're all in agreement here that we would all rather have.
I'm running out of questions here.
Have Zach Wilson on my team.
I don't think Zach Wilson's going to run down the field and trip over his own feet.
I would rather have Zach Wilson on my team than the quarterback I have now.
Well,
I don't want him.
Where are we expecting that stats though? I know Zach Wilson got hurt, and then we saw the great Mike White for a little bit last year.
Mr. Mike.
I never seen anybody get hyped up after one game of 5 touchdowns.
And let me tell you something.
He believed his own hype.
He was hyped.
Would you rather have Mike White or Zach Wilson?
Then it went to
Not even close. I already know what this answer is. Go ahead and say it.
I don't want Mike White.
We don't blame you.
Hey, do not blame you one bit.
We do not blame you.
He had them 5 touchdowns, but
I was just waiting for him to say it.
So look at the comments. Betts made a good point. When you asked, would a 10-7 Jets team get 3 teams? That AFC West is going to be brutal.
Yeah, you got
like
3 teams.
They're going to send multiple teams out of that West, which is going to knock out a couple of playoff spots.
Well, an issue with the West is they all play each other. Very possible. The entire division goes 2-2 against each other. Right. So essentially, 3-3? That's 3 losses right there.
Say everybody but the Raiders. Let me stop. Let me stop hating on the
Raiders. Six losses.
So David, let me ask you a question. So we talk about preferences. With Jimmy Garoppolo being on the block, would you rather have Jimmy Garoppolo back in New England? There's rumors, or Mac Jones.
I'm sticking with Mac Jones.
Yeah, you have to stick with Mac Jones.
I know Jimmy did well in the system with Bill Belichick, and that was Bill Belichick's guy, that we almost gave up on Brady for. But I would take Mac Jones right now over Jimmy. And I know I'm going a little outside of that, but to a point that kind of Amir made, and I don't like to admit Amir made somewhat of a good point, but yes, the Patriots did overachieve last year, in my opinion. We did overachieve. We did better than what I thought my expectations were. And yes, I think that's the coaching, but I think that also speaks to the whole division right there is the coaching staff they have. That's why the Bills are going to be successful. They have the talent and a sustainable coaching staff that's been there long enough to have, a good quality, knowing what the plays are, building off of it instead of starting fresh. So the Bills have that. The Patriots will get that curve just because of the coaching staff and losing the coordinators. But I think that's where they benefit more than the Jets or the Dolphins do, is because they have that consistent coaching staff already in place for years. Now, Jets, I still give better. Jets are going to do better, hopefully, than I'm saying. For your sake, I don't want the Jets to do anything except for maybe get another first pick overall. But I think the Patriots do take a step back this year. They do take a step back. I think they overachieved last year, but I still they have confidence in Jets. I still see bright future for Mac Jones and what we can possibly do going forward.
DD made a good point too.
Right.
There's a reason that McDaniels left.
There's a reason McDaniels left.
Other than he wants to be a coach. What do you think the reason is?
Well, I think is that to me?
Yes, that's to you, sir.
I think he left because he was supposed to, in my opinion, he was supposed to be the guy to take over for New England. But when we started, lost Brady, stuff like that, and Bill Belichick is stuck in his ways. I think Bill Belichick wants to prove that he can do stuff without Tom Brady. So he's going to try to stick it out as long as he can and try to do what he can with Mac Jones. McDaniels is like, you know what? I'm not getting enough credit for this. I want the position, and I'm supposed to take over, but I'm going to have an opportunity to go to a team that has a really good quarterback, some really good wide receivers, a good core of talent. Even as those in a tough conference or a tough division, he has a better chance of proving his last stint was just a fluke.
So how do you feel about that? Like, how did you feel as a Patriots fan?
I mean,
Belichick stick. Would you rather have? I guess at this point, Brady's gone. He's not coming back. Would you rather have Belichick leading Mac Jones into the future, or would you have rather had a McDaniels leading Mac Jones into the future?
Oh, that's a good question. If we're talking about just Mac Jones itself, I would probably take McDaniels. If I'm talking about running an organization, I'm taking the experience of Bill Belichick.
Right.
He knows how to run an organization, and it's not any one player that's going to be controlling the organization. It is whatever is best for the team. Now, that may not always be right on point for Bill Belichick, because there's some things that I'm like, man, that don't think that was best for the team, or didn't work out for best for the team, especially when trying to draft wide receivers. We can't do that apparently, but I would have McDaniels as far as development of Mac Jones, but for the whole team, Bill Belichick.
They call that the Patriot way. But we've been sitting here talking, and you talked about the Patriots, you talked about the Jets, and everybody has talked about the Bills. Even we got the O.J. Simpson jersey over there. We haven't really talked that much about the team from down south, the Dolphins. I don't know. I still don't know why they're in the AFC East. How do y'all think the Dolphins are going to do? Because they gonna be going in running back by committee. We know the offensive the head coach was the offensive coordinator last year with San Francisco. Do you think they're going to come in with the same mindset and game plan that San Francisco ran last year, or you think he's going to try to bring his own identity in?
Rob, let's hear from you. You've been quiet over there.
Oh, no, I'm listening. I'm enjoying it. I'm absorbing this in. But one thing I am going to say, though, I know everybody's not too high on Tua, but I look at it like this. He's been put in a great position to be successful this year. And he has a head coach that believes in his skill set and can game plan. If he can game plan for Jimmy G to look good and put a good game plan out for Jimmy G, he can do just fine with Tua.
Sir, you trying to say that Jimmy G and Tua are the same?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying not even
Tua is better,
but
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying that if he can make Jimmy G look good, he can make Tua look all world. But also the speed they're going to have on offense is going to be crazy.
But can Tua get the speed the ball though?
All you have to do is give a 5 and out or a 5 and in, and allow them to do what they do. Waddle don't need but 5 yards. You give Waddle 5 yards, you give Cheetah 5 yards, you give Mostert 5 yards, and he's gone.
Yeah,
You
most
talking
of the
about
problem.
3 guys
Going to the hospital.
Most of the problem.
You got 3 guys that run in that 4-3 range and have good hands, and they love running routes. So, and then you got a good tight end, you got an offensive minded head coach, and you already had a good defense. So I get what I hear everybody saying, can Tua get him the ball? He's not accurate. We'll find out. We're gonna find out. I believe they're gonna look way better than they did last year.
And I think that's what it's going to boil down to is, can Tua become the tank for Tua that everybody wanted?
Right.
Can he become that guy? I mean, he has the weapons around it, like he has.
Right.
Rob, you just listed all the weapons that he has the weapons around him. No excuse this year.
Yeah, you
can't. You got to come out of ball. If you can't get it done with Waddle and Tyreek Hill as your 1 and 2, Gesicki as your tight end, and 3 or 4 running backs that all run 4.3 or lower. I mean,
I just hope Tua don't have the Drew Brees arm disease where you can't throw more than 5 yards.
I think a lot of people forget that we're talking about a guy whose hip was dislocated. This guy had his hip dislocated. Then the pandemic hit, and he came and got drafted during the pandemic. So he didn't have rookie camp. So I think a lot of people forget there were a lot of different factors leading into it. We'll find out this year. I believe in him. I think he's going to be fine. But, it's a process.
Didn't he hurt that same hip running out of bounds and sliding right out of? Am I not mistaken?
He hurt himself.
It was the same hip.
He hurt himself. He hurt himself. He did. He did get hurt running out of bounds.
He just running out of bounds.
But you got to remember, that's the same injury that Bo Jackson had. And you see what Bo Jackson ended up having.
The medicine is better now than it was.
That being said, it's probably not talent, but if he's not healthy enough.
Right.
And that's the thing. We're talking about years now. We're talking about years since then. So I'm hoping. I'm not going to say he is healthy. I'm just saying I'm hoping that he's healthy enough now, because I think they rushed him. I do believe they rushed him on the field because he's a top 5 pick.
Right.
So
we'll give him health as an excuse. We'll give him the rookie mini camp as an excuse. That's why I said this year.
You got to come in and do something this year.
As long as he comes, into the season healthy, he has no excuses.
What you got?
Well, what I was thinking, put aside the talent part of it. Again, you have a quarterback that didn't have a head coach that believed in him. So what does that do to his mindset as confidence and stuff like that? So now you've got this new head coach that's saying, hey, we believe in him. We do all that, and that's great. You want to build that culture for that young quarterback. So to me, for him to be successful, one, you got to keep that culture. We believe in you through thick and thin. And 2, what happens when you have those 3-4 games that you're not successful? Do we continue to be like, no, this is just a progression we're going to work through? Or, all right, I give up on this guy. He's not making it. I think building back up his confidence, put not only day to day, but from in the play to play. Josh McDaniels did that a lot with the quarterbacks. Bill Belichick, hey, let's find things to build up your confidence into the game plan and then build off of that. And that's what's going to get him successful. If they can do that for him, he's going to be fine.
Right. Tim, what you think?
I think the best thing they did for Tua is get Ryan Fitzpatrick out of there.
That's good.
So Ryan Fitzpatrick is known to be he doesn't give a shit about you or anything. He wants to start. He wants to get that money. He wants to suck. He wants to go to the next team and start the cycle over again. So, and last year, right, when he was starting and they would put Tua in and then they put Fitzpatrick back in. Wasn't it last year?
No, last year it was Brissett. Jacoby Brissett was the backup.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick was in Washington.
Okay.
Fitzpatrick was in Washington. It was the year before last.
Okay.
It was a couple of years ago.
All right. So that was year before last. But so I think, like you were saying, the coaches around him they put him in a good situation. It's the first year of that offense. I don't know if he's going to struggle with that in the first year with learning a new offense or anything, but like you said, they put the tools around him to succeed. So they're kind of in the same situation that the Jets are in. Is this the guy or is this not the guy? And hopefully the organization, for his sake, is telling him that they think he's the guy. And I guess we'll learn this year if he's not. We're going to learn a lot this year on a lot of teams if their quarterbacks are not the team, the guy. So, I was scared of Tua. I was when everybody was tanking for Tua. I was like, and then he fell to the Dolphins. I was like, of course he fell to the Dolphins. The whole AFC East is filled with talented, future talent, possibly great quarterbacks, all young quarterbacks. So I don't want another Tom Brady to deal with for the next 20 years. So
Mark Sanchez beat Tom Brady though. Remember in an AFC final one time.
Yeah,
but,
they had a couple.
I think you're safe there, though.
But fumbled Sanchez.
I think you're safe.
Just want to throw that out there.
I don't think we see another Tom Brady.
Yeah, I hope so. So
not no time soon.
No,
not anytime soon.
But okay, so we everybody kind of touched on the Bills and things like that. But what's really going on up there in Buffalo? What's the state of that organization right now?
They need to find a running game.
They do.
I think they found one towards the end of the season.
I mean, what, Josh Allen?
Oh no, I just want to throw it out there. I'm glad you threw up that softball question, like Big Rob likes to say. But Devin Singletary won me the championship last season. Okay, I just want to throw it out. I'm glad you guys brought it up. I didn't bring it up. You guys brought it up. I'm just throwing it out there.
Sorry, America. I'm sorry.
Devin Singletary, he was running 2 touchdowns a week the last 3-4 weeks of the season. I just want to throw it out there.
I don't think it's the lack of running backs. I think it's the lack of game planning for the running backs.
Yeah, exactly.
And I agree with that.
That's why
Josh Allen has been their running back.
I didn't say the running backs. That's why I said a running game.
Right.
Because, there was at times where it was Josh Allen was their running game. That's not sustainable.
I think we were talking about it before the show too. If that's going to be the mentality of putting everything on not only Josh's arm but his legs, you're going to wear out that young superstar quarterback way too soon. You need to protect him by developing that run game. And honestly, I hope they don't, because that's going to give the Patriots and maybe even the Jets a better chance of taking some ground. And that young quarterback is going to fade away because he's going to get hurt or whatever. But that's their problem. If they decide to focus more on the run game to protect Josh Allen and then build off of that, they are going to be a tough team to beat throughout the year. And They are going to be Super Bowl favorites.
Right. But until they get a running game down where it's not Josh Allen, they will never get over that hump.
Consistent running game.
Yeah, a consistent. I don't
like Amir said, they have flashes. They have flashes.
Right.
They need
if they don't get a consistent running game, I don't think they make it past the second round of the playoffs. If they make it that far.
It's a loaded AFC this year too. So I mean, even with the running game, it's a loaded AFC this year. The AFC is loaded.
This AFC we're going to see this year is I hate to use, no, it's not unprecedented, but it's like you said, it is loaded.
It's loaded,
especially with the West.
Exactly.
And
I don't know what's happening on the western side of this country, but something special is happening on that side where everybody who played football good wants to go over there and just be great. The eastern side of the country.
We're looking at teams like Indianapolis, who all they needed was to add a quarterback, which they did.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
does the Titans come back, or are they as good? I still think they're a playoff worthy team.
Right. Let's go Tannehill, right?
You're looking at. Yeah, I said the Patriots may fall off, but if Miami comes up and steps up, like on paper they can, Why not? The 3 teams or 4 teams out the West. Does Pittsburgh finally not get to 500? Pittsburgh been 15, 16 years at 500 plus.
Will Baltimore
I still think Baltimore and Cincinnati are going to put on a show in the
next
North.
week for Batman, folks. I don't know what to say, but the
AFC
AFC is going to be.
The AFC is loaded. The
I need
AFC
for Baltimore to get one wide receiver that wants to go over there and do something.
You might see a 10-win team get left out of the playoffs in the AFC. That's how loaded.
I'm going to be honest with you.
It's like that one year that the Patriots went 11-5 and they still didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah,
remember?
We may not even get a wide receiver, but we have so many tight ends, running backs, that this offense is going to be so brutal, so smash mouth that Baltimore runs this year. I would hate the game plan for that because they're going to push it down your throat this year. They are definitely going to push it down your throat.
That's another team that needs to stop running their quarterback so much.
Yeah. We have to stop running him. Honestly, and until we get rid of our offensive coordinator, I don't think it's going to happen.
That's what he does.
I want him gone. I want Greg Roman gone. I really do. I want him out of there. I want Greg Roman gone because he's going to get Lamar killed.
He likes to run the quarterback.
AFC coming in about 3 weeks.
He gonna run that quarterback.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we gonna go ahead. We gonna talk about that in 3 weeks. So, give me y'all picks for the division. 1, 2, 3, 4.
How do you see? Yep. How do you see it finishing? We'll start with the Jets. We'll start with our Jets, man. How do you see the division finishing?
Give it to him, Tim.
Division: Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots.
Oh, respect.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Hardy, how do you see it finishing?
We agree on one thing. The Bills will win the division. I think that it's going to be close for a second between the Pats and the Dolphins, and the Jets will finish last in the division.
Dead last. That's what he said.
Rob, what you got? What you got, Rob?
Of course, Bills. I honestly think the Dolphins are going to shock everybody. And it's going to be a close one between them and the Bills. I really do. I think New England's going to take a step back, but I also think the Jets are going to win more games than people think they're going to win.
I think so too. What you got, Amir?
I totally agree with Tim and Big Rob. I really believe the Patriots overachieved last year, but with a heavy laden AFC, this is going to be a disappointing year, and it's not going to be on Mac Jones. It's not, because he wasn't asked to do too much, and Bill Belichick is just going to be Bill Belichick, but the talent is just not there in New England. It really ain't. I like what the Jets have done with their offense. Very young defense. I believe we're looking at a 7-10, 6-11 split somehow, the bottom two. When it comes to the Jets and Patriots, they're going to be neck and neck. I agree, Rob, that Miami is going to step it up. It all depends on Tua. I am not sold on Tua. I am not. But on paper, they have the team to battle with Buffalo. But I believe Buffalo will have a 12-5, 13-4 type season. They'll win the division. I think Miami will be that team that just misses the playoffs at 10-7. And the Jets and Patriots are battle for the bottom two. That's just my, I want to say expert opinion. But the Patriots just not, and this, I don't want to sound like I'm hating. I'm not. They really don't have the talent to compete. They don't. Nobody went to New England. You never heard them in they just don't. But you can never go against Bill Belichick, and he's going to be the one coach who will have that lack of talent team ready. I'll give him that much credit. But I don't think they're going to compete in a division whatsoever.
And Flex, while you giving yours, I want America to go ahead and type theirs into the comments. Also, a little bit of breaking news: Alabama just landed a 4-star.
Don't nobody care about that.
They
Yeah, it feels good to me.
Oh no,
I had to put it out. It's all sports. I had to put it out. That's what we do.
Man, I love when you do that.
Hey,
Say it again.
the Braves also prioritize 2 targets if we're going to throw out everything that Bleacher Report reports. But
everybody, y'all put y'all picks in the comments. Fleck, what's your picks?
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with the rest of the guys. The Bills I think they're gonna win the division going away. At least 2-3 games ahead of, maybe more, of second place. Second place, I mean, it's gonna come down to are we gonna get the Tua that everybody was tanking for, or are we gonna get the Tua that tanked his first 2 years? Which Tua are we gonna get? If we get Tua that everybody was tanking for, that everybody thought they were gonna get, then the Dolphins will be second. If not, I got the Patriots second, Dolphins 3, Jets at the bottom. But like Rob said, I think, and Tim, I think I got more confidence in your team than you do at this point. I think that they're gonna win more games than they should, or than people think they should.
I'm hoping they win 7.
Yeah, I mean, and for them, like honestly, for them, that would be a good team.
Right.
I mean, that would be a good season for them.
They got to win division games.
7-10 for them would be a good season.
It starts in the
everybody's
division.
got them, pegged to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Right.
And they're 7-10. That puts you in about the middle because you're playing in that brutal AFC. So
they're going to continue to be the worst in the NFL until they prove otherwise. It's just
I think the worst in the NFL this year is going to be the Falcons.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Well, my picks. I think we have a consensus that the Bills will be they will win the division. I feel like the Miami Dolphins will be second in the division, and I think they're going to be second in the division with a tiebreaker against the Patriots. I think that they're going to have an identical record, but they'll win the tiebreaker. So they'll be second, and the Patriots will be third. With the Jets coming in fourth, only by like 1 or 2 games. It won't be like they're going to be in the cellar or in the basement. They're going to be right there until like the last couple of weeks of the season. Then they'll kind of fall off.
So reading the comments, David Leroy Harding said.
I just happen to look at the Jets schedule, and I want to have my comment stricken from the record. I did not look at the schedule. I did.
None of us did.
Don't look at the schedule.
What are we missing?
Don't look at the schedule.
Holy crap!
They scheduled. They got one of the hardest schedules in the league.
The Jets will be last place only because I think they'll start off 0-7. Looking at this schedule, not because of talent, but Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers, Dolphins, Green Bay, Broncos.
I need 2-2 in the first 4 games.
I need 2 in the Browns game.
They just go get punched all the way in the mouth.
I'll give them the Browns game.
Look, the Ravens are game 1.
And I'm glad for that.
Good to me.
I'm glad for that. I'm hoping we catch the Ravens off guard in that first game.
You know that week 1 game. You always got shockers in week 1.
Amir, you said they could start 0-7. I can give them 2 of those games. I think that they can beat the Browns.
I said it will. I said it can.
I think they can beat the Browns and the Steelers.
We got to go 2-2.
I didn't look at the schedule. That schedule is brutal.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, I'm looking at it now because like you made me look at it, and I'm looking at it now. So yeah, if y'all get the 7 wins, bro, that y'all overachieved.
We got to win division games. Got to win division.
For me, it was like playing the Detroit Lions last year, where every game was 35-32, 35-30, but it just wasn't beating nobody. But they were scoring 30-something points. The Jets might be that team that they can score, but they can't stop anybody.
Jim, they can't see the YouTube comment that you just, or whoever just put that.
Alabama big.
That was me.
Bakwi.
Okay, yeah, they can't. The audience can't see the YouTube comment from whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was Jalen Mbwaki.
They only did that because of Wakanda Forever. I just want to point that out. Don't
You're real
get-
Charles.
nah,
That trailer was fire.
that trailer.
Look,
That Wakanda Forever trailer was fire.
I need y'all to
I know this-
understand.
Sports
Look,
Matter.
this
That trailer
this
was
is
fire.
not a sport, but I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for this movie.
They bringing
I'm just gonna
Killmonger
be
back,
honest with you.
just so y'all know that.
I'm just telling you, I'm not sure
have
I'm ready for this movie. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this.
But
So
this-
that
that's
trailer
not a
had
sport.
me feeling some kind of way, but I digress.
That trailer was fire.
It was fire.
All right.
Random
I'm
time.
not
It's a
hating,
random
but
time.
Marvel's better than DC.
I mean, you spitting facts. You spitting hot fire, sir. But
Yes, sir.
Rob, what you got for me?
So, Amir, I think you'll like this. Did you know how many stitches are in a baseball?
I used to know that.
100.
Why you don't know now?
108 stitches
I was
are
gonna say
in a
102.
baseball.
Yeah, I
Yes,
was gonna say 102. It was
108.
over 100.
Yep, it's 108. And the second random fact is there's only one sport that's been played on the moon.
Golf.
Golf.
Bingo, we got action.
Just like
They
that.
played three rounds of golf on the moon.
Just like that. If you didn't know,
Just like
now
that.
you know. We giving
So
you
I
the
wonder,
fact.
did they drill a hole in the moon to get the ball
They
in?
played in one of the
Hey,
craters.
they didn't give me
played
all
in the
the
crater.
info. I'm just saying, they just hit one of the
I mean,
craters. I
where
guess.
is
I
Ball
guess
still
they-
Senor
floating.
Buzz
Still floating in
Aldrin.
space. That's why it's only
Answer
3.
this question.
They played in a crater.
That's our show for the night, folks. We thank y'all for coming in with us on this special night. Again, happy birthday, Big Robbery. We appreciate y'all coming out. Next
Mr.
week,
Raoul.
we got the NFC South. I know we got some Saints fans. I know we got Falcons fans. I know we got Tampa Bay fans. And who's that other team out there? Carolina. I know somebody gonna show up.
Yeah.
So guess what? We gonna be ready. Are y'all gonna be ready? We'll see y'all next week. This is All Sports Matter. We out.